illnesses that we all experience in the course of a lifetime.
I know one lady who's never lost the touch with the joy of living. She's Lillian Gish, one of the most famous actresses in the history of show business, and she's also a very dear close friend of mine.
Wonderful lady. Lillian and her sister Dorothy did more than star in some of the finest films from the early days of Hollywood. They helped launch the entire film industry. Eventually, Lillian's screen credits grew to a list of 100 titles, from her first, An Unseen Enemy in 1912, to The Comedians, filmed in 1967.
Lillian and I had two memorable occasions recently. The first was a Royal Command Gala in London for the Queen Mother's 80th birthday, where each of us discovered the other one was on the guest list only after we had arrived. And more recently, we talked in front of our over-easy camera in New York City.
Let us show that conversation now with you, Mary, and Miss Lillian Gish.
Okay. Lillian, when I was a little girl growing up in Weatherford, I dreamed of many things, like going on the stage. I dreamed of flying, and they all came true. But I never, in my wildest dreams, ever dreamed of meeting Lillian Gish and having her as a precious friend.
Oh, Mary dear.
You know, it's just the loveliest thing that ever happened to me, and it's been going on for a very, very long time.
May I echo every word you say.
And darling, haven't we shared some of the most wonderful things in our years of friendship, which is over 30 years, I think.
It is, it is.
And we've shared friends.
Yes.
And you brought one of the dearest friends I ever had in my life.
And look at
into
the
my life.
result. Sound of Music.
That's right, Vincent J. Donahue.
Oh, bless
Wasn't he
his heart.
something?
Wasn't
And
he?
you know, you gave him to me.
Well, I knew you'd like one another.
He left us, and he never has left our hearts.
No.
I'm with him a great deal. He loved to sing. And when I'm singing very loudly on the beach sometimes, that's where he really liked to sing. Because when he was a little boy, they told him, because he couldn't sing, the teacher did something terrible. When in first grade, she said, "Now, Vinny, you're going to be a listener." Can you believe a teacher saying that to anyone? So for the rest of his life, he sang very loudly, not very well, but quite loud.
Dear, beautiful, talented human being.
Then we shared the same thing of mother and sister love.
Yes.
Tell me about your mother
Oh,
and
my
sister
mother was the
relationship.
most perfect human being I ever knew, or my sister ever knew, and that took us together. We were three. They called us the Three Musketeers, all for one, one for all. Didn't matter who got it, just so it was in the family.
And you took such care of your mother.
Well, she took care of us better than we ever could of her.
Tell me, you said something about you don't wear glasses, you see perfectly, and that's because of your mother.
Mother took us to Conrad Barron's, the finest oculist in America, when we were in our teens, thinking we'd be blind by the time we were 30 from these lights. And I don't wear glasses, and I go every year to have them examined, my eyes. And
Did you learn to
I'm
do?
lucky.
Well, honey, it's just you. I bet other people could do, but you do exercises. With your eyes.
Exercises, eye drops that he gave me, and I do them to this day.
Isn't
Because you have to appreciate this house you live in. You don't get another house.
But you are an authority on watching people's eyes in motion pictures. You say
Well-
that's the soul, and you know how to do it. I mean, you know about the lighting. Tell me some of the things. So
Well,
give me
because in the early years, we didn't have anyone to help us. I worked with the electrician. There were no unions. We were all one family. Everybody knew about the camera, knew about how to develop and print the pictures. I knew all there was to... I directed my first film when I was 20 years old.
Did you really?
A real film for Paramount.
What was the name of it?
Remodeling Your Husband, and Dorothy and I wrote the story. Griffith saw the rehearsal, said it was all right, left me with the whole studio to build up in Mamaroneck. But
I love your title, Remodeling Your Husband, and you didn't ever get married.
I didn't want to.
But you wrote a story about it.
Yes, I admired people who did, but I thought a good wife was a 24-hour-a-day job, and I didn't have that much time. Why should I ruin a man's life?
Ah, well, you see?
So, a lot of darling men that I didn't spoil.
There's another thing I wanted to ask you about, because I've heard about it recently. There is a musical comedy that has been written about your life with Dorothy. Is it about the two of you? Is it kind of about your life?
It's about the early films, and it opened in England in October. It was called The Biograph Girl. Over there's coming here, but I don't know what it will be called when it comes here.
But this fall?
This fall.
Oh, I want to be there. I want to be there with you on opening night.
Oh, yes.
Let's make a date.
Oh, it's date now.
Okay, it's date. I'll be. I don't care where I am.
No.
I'll come back from Brazil. I'll
We'll
come
be
back.
together.
I fly now so much that I don't even need a wire.
Oh, I should have been
anymore.
a pilot. I'm up there more than I am down here.
We may meet in midair someday. We'll wave, okay? Now, there's something else that I want you to talk about, and it's something very close to your heart. You've had this happen because you wanted it to happen so much about Mr. Griffin, but now you want it to happen for the theater. Now, could you tell me about that?
And I want a stamp for the Actors Fund. You know, we'll be 100 years old next year, and I think we should have a stamp because we take care of all the people in the theater that have served the theater, not just actors. It's badly named because actors, you think just, but they look after their own, and I think they deserve a stamp. And if you think so, please write to your Postmaster General and our president, who is an actor and taken us all up a few pegs, and say you think so. Maybe we'll get a stamp for the Actors Fund.
That's the best. Only you could do this, and you'll get a stamp. You got it for Mr. Griffith, you'll get it for the actors.
I hope so.
Tell me one thing. In all this marvelous life of yours, and you've had a beautiful one,
Yes, I
is there anything that you wanted to do and didn't do yet? Because you're going on for 100 years more, you know that.
No,
I hope.
not. I hope not.
I hope.
Oh, I don't want to wear out my welcome, Mary.
You never would do that.
Yeah,
Is there anything?
I can't think of anything I never asked for or wanted. What I got, it just came to me, and I hope I did it justice, anything that came my way. But I've been more than gratified.
But you're now doing lectures?
I've been lecturing.
Doing that? You've written
I've been
books?
around the world three times in 5 years, working on the QE2 and going by plane, working in Australia.
Was that fun on the
Tasmania.
QE2?
No, I lectured on
I
the
know,
QE2.
but was it fun?
Better than going as a passenger because you meet the press every port of call and you ask the press about their countries. You learn something about them.
But see, you are the kind of actress who wants to know about everybody else. They want to ask you questions, but you want to know. And I think that's thrilling.
Well, if I had a gift to give a child,
Yes.
I would give them curiosity because age doesn't make you old.
No.
Boredom makes you old. And if you have curiosity, you can never be bored.
And here we are at our late ages.
Yes.
At our late ages, and I am so curious about everything. I can't wait to learn.
Oh,
so curiosity is the answer.
But the world is so exciting now. Was it ever like this? How could anybody be bored today?
Can you imagine being in London 1 minute and Ireland another minute and back in Chicago? I did that in 1 day.
Well,
I don't know how I did it, but I did it.
I went on Concorde for 3 hours. I was in London in 3 hours just having lunch.
I
and there
haven't done
was.
that yet.
Oh, well, do it, Mary.
Okay.
You know, you go up through the gray sky into the blue sky, and then at noontime you're in the black sky, 60,000 feet up.
Oh, darling lady, you're always going to be in the sky as far as I'm concerned.
bless your heart.
I'm so thrilled that you are here today and came into my life.
Oh, Mary.
She's a delight.
Isn't she?